What's up guys, welcome to another video. I know buying a car can be difficult, so today I'm going over my 8 mistakes that people make when shopping for a vehicle. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Christopher and I've been selling cars for a very long time, and throughout the years I learned some common mistakes. So today we're going to jump into it right away with mistake number 1, and that is not doing any preliminary research. This is huge guys. You got to do a ton of research before you start looking for a vehicle. Before you even set foot in a dealership, maybe 1 month in advance or 2 months in advance, you should be researching interest rates, prices of cars, type of vehicles, Google reviews, YouTube videos, things like that. That will help you narrow down what vehicles you're looking at, and you should be able to narrow down the type of vehicle that you want to maybe 3 or 4 different vehicles before you call the dealership and schedule a test drive. So doing research is key. There's a lot of variables, and research doesn't just stop with the car. Research things like the interest rate. Go to your bank and inquire what type of interest rate you can get so that you know your interest rate when you go to the dealership, and you can compare it with what the dealership is offering you. You can also research things like your trade-in. So your trade-in is huge guys. If you have a trade-in, make sure you do your homework. Research how much your trade-in is worth. Websites like AutoTrader, Kijiji, Canadian Black Book, Kelley Blue Book if you're in the States. Tons of research on your trade-in. Look at what they're buying and selling for so you know if you're getting a great deal when you go trade in that vehicle. Doing all sorts of research. Too much research is never a bad thing. Make sure you start that ahead of time. Research online, there's so much information. Check out channels like my own that do car comparisons, videos like this to help you with your buying process. Mistake number 2 is going to be not setting appropriate time aside to go to the dealership. So ideally you want to call the dealership and set an appointment. Don't just walk in, but you definitely don't want to be one of those people who walks into the dealership and says, oh, I only got 15 minutes, let me know your best price on the Toyota RAV4. Those people do not get the time of day from the salesman. We know that they're just a waste of time, and we're not even going to give them their best price. If you're going to go to a dealership and ask for 15 minutes, most of the questions and answers that you're going to get can be found online from your couch while you're watching TV. So make sure you set appropriate time aside. 45 minutes at least. I would say an hour to 2 hours is appropriate, especially if you're serious about buying. Think about it. Your initial greeting might take about 10 or 15 minutes. Your test drive should take maybe half an hour or 45 minutes. And then you might have another 35 minutes in negotiations. So it's going to be probably an hour or 2 hour process. And then you're going to get into the business office and do all the paperwork. So make sure you set appropriate time aside. If the deal is rushed, things are going to get missed. You're going to make hiccups, and the salesman might make hiccups. Similar to number 1, tip number 3 is going to be kind of a 2-part tip, and that's going to involve your timing. Your timing is critical to help you get the best deal. Do not wait until your current car completely breaks down and you're in a hurry to buy. Do not wait till you desperately need a car within the next day or 2 to buy, because your timing is not going to give you enough patience, or you're not going to have enough patience to ensure you get the best deal. Timing is critical in that respect for yourself, so you can adequately do your research, adequately consult whoever you need to consult, and you'll be sure and certain 100% that you're making the right choice. The other issue with timing is when you go to the dealership and buy the car. It's a common thing in car sales that when you go to the dealership at the end of the month or at the end of the year, you're gonna get the best deal, and that's generally true. Most salespeople like myself are trying to hit their year-end targets or their monthly targets at the end of the month, and they're more willing to discount the vehicle or give you incentives to purchase. Some of the craziest deals I saw, actually the best deal I've ever seen a customer achieve in my life, happened on New Year's Eve, the day of New Year's Eve, our last day of the year, because the owner of my dealership was so desperate to make his last sale to hit his annual target for the whole dealership. He had me sitting in this customer's living room and not leaving until he said yes to our deal. And this customer got a phenomenal deal that I've never ever seen before. It was over like $9 grand off the vehicle or something. So something like that is big. Your timing is important. Pick when you're going to go to the dealership. A few things like don't go at the start of the month. Don't go in like at tax season, things like that, because that's a very popular time for the dealership and they might not be motivated to sell and discount the vehicle. Number 4 kind of comes in with the timing aspect as well, but that's going to be not buying the latest model. So if you show up right on January 1st and you want that 2021 model or the newest model that just came out, you're not going to get the best deal. Generally, the cars that just came out that the dealership is advertising are very high in demand and have limited inventory that's come off the line yet. So the dealerships and the manufacturers not super motivated to get rid of those dealerships. There's rarely any incentives on those vehicles. The interest rates are usually high, so you're not going to get the best deal. I would say the best model to get is late in the year, late fall or early winter, when they're trying to clear out their models of the remaining year, when they have lots of inventory to get rid of so they can make room for the next year's model. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see customers make is comparing their deal with a friend or a family member. This is going to be a no-no, okay? So if you walk into a dealership and your brother has already told you that he got a Toyota Corolla for $400 a month, and you go to the dealership and say, my brother came here and got a Toyota Corolla for $400 a month, I want that same deal, you might be missing out on an opportunity to save some money, and here's why. You don't know your brother's situation, you don't know what incentives he got at the time of the month, you don't know his credit, his down payment, things like that. Maybe you could have got that Corolla for $385 a month as opposed to $400, but because you walked in and asked for the same deal your brother got, you didn't get the best deal. Mistake number 6, this is huge, guys, and it will cost you if you do it, and that is making your decision on a monthly payment. So the dealer's always gonna quote you on a monthly payment. They'll say, hey, this car is $345 a month or $180 bi-weekly or $200 bi-weekly. And if you just look at the payment, you don't know a lot of the factors. You don't know the selling price of the car, the fees involved, the term of the loan, the interest rate. If you're only deciding on your monthly payment, the dealership has so many different variables to manipulate the price. You need to look at every line item on your bill of sale. Deciding on the payment is a huge mistake. We're getting close to the end here, guys, and these ones are the most important. The last thing you want to do is walk into a dealership and buy a car right on the spot. Don't just show up and pick out a car and buy it that day. Make sure you take your time. Make sure you sleep on it. Make sure you think about it. When you go into the dealership and you buy a car right away, the first car that they show you or the first car that you look at, it's probably not going to be your most educated decision, and you're probably not going to get the best deal from the dealer. Always try to have an out. Always say, oh, I have other cars to look at. Oh, I have to check my insurance. Oh, I have to consult with my wife. Just always have something to get you away from signing that deal today. If you're gonna go in and do a deal right away on a vehicle that the first vehicle that they showed you, they're probably not gonna give you your best deal. So make sure you give them a couple opportunities to earn your business. Try to say you have other cars to look at. They might call you maybe when you get home or later that day with a new price point, things like that. So do not buy the car right away on the spot. My final mistake that I see people make, and this is gonna save you the most money here, guys, and that's not asking for a discount. Like I've said in a ton of my videos, if you don't ask, you're not gonna get. So make sure you ask the dealership if there's any incentives, any more discounts, anything that they throw in for free. If you don't ask them to discount the vehicle, they're most likely not gonna just automatically discount it. So you need to ask them if you can get a lower rate, a lower discount, a lower incentive, whatever you can do, however you wanna word it, make sure you ask for some discounts off the car so you can get a better price. So there you have it, guys. That is 8 mistakes that customers make when shopping for the vehicle. You heard it right from myself, Christopher from Cars Unlocked. Again, I've been doing this for such a long time, so I want to help you guys get the best deal you can on a vehicle and not be intimidated when you come to dealerships to see people like me. Make sure you watch my playlist about car buying to help educate you in the car buying process and ensure you get the best deal. Have a great day.